Hey guys, hope you guys doing fine today. Let's just do some more exposing of the globe lies. Would you like to thank Dave J. Carroll and Dino Tinelli from Italy? Dino actually already made a video about this back in 1992. It was called Pole to Pole by this guy here, Michael Palin. He supposedly traveled from pole to pole. We're going to take a look at the route. What caught my attention when I watched Dino's video is this image right here. He was in Cape Town. He thought he was going to be able to fly to the pole from Cape Town. But something very interesting happened. Let's watch this video here.
Our plan to reach Antarctica by ship from Cape Town has failed. But we have discovered there is a private company which says it could get us to the pole. We must take a risk with them or go home. But their base is in South America. We're at the end of the wrong continent. There's nothing for it but to fly 6,000 miles across the Atlantic, turning our back on the 30-degree meridian. Our route goes via Rio de Janeiro and the Andes to Santiago in Chile.
But there is a problem there. There are no flight routes from Cape Town to São Paulo, Rio. It takes at least 22 hours flying from South Africa to Brazil. And a quick search, you have Cape Town to Rio, takes about 30 hours with one stop in Londres. Yes, London. So they had to go all the way up and then back down to Rio on the globe model. If you explore this, it gets even more bizarre with flights like going to Ethiopia and then to Brazil. It's no less than 2 stops from going from South Africa to Brazil. Now we look here on the globe. This is the bottom of the globe. He went all the way from London to South Africa, thinking he could just go to the South Pole right here. But he found out he couldn't. So on the video, he says he went to Brazil and Santiago, but there are no flights from South Africa to Brazil, direct flights. So he had to go to London. And if we look here, so when we look here, he went first from London to Cape Town. When he got to Cape Town, he found out he wasn't going to be able to go to the South Pole by boat or flying. Either way, he had to go from Cape Town to Rio. So how did he do it? He had to go back to London and fly to Rio, because this flight here does not exist. It takes at least 22 hours. Of course, when we look at the flat earth map, you will understand. But this is what he had to do. He went back to London, flew to Rio, from Rio to Santiago, from Santiago, and there is an airport here, but he said he flew directly to the so-called South Pole. When looking here, we can see that there is no way anyone, if you are in South Africa, you cannot go to the South Pole. If you are in Australia, you cannot go to the South Pole. On both continents, you have to go to South America to then go to what they call to the ceremonial South Pole, because no one can get to the South Pole. There is no South Pole. This is how this would look on the Mercator projection, which makes absolutely no sense whatsoever. So here we can understand better what happened when we look at the flat earth map. So from Cape Town, he had to fly back to London. From London, he flew to Rio. From Rio, he flew to Santiago. And from Santiago to the so-called ceremonial South Pole. So that's why nobody can get to the South Pole, because there is no South Pole. Antarctica is not a continent on the bottom of the ball. It's the circle. That's why they call the Antarctic Circle, because it's this container here. You have to fly all the way from Sydney to South America to visit South Pole. That's why when you see the celebrities, the Orthodox Pope and the Vatican Pope, the Catholic Pope, they often go to Santiago de Chile and then to go to the so-called South Pole. These black arrows here means the wind currents and the ocean currents. So one reason he couldn't actually even sail from South Africa to so-called South Pole, he would be going against the flow of the ocean here. So let's listen to this part where he talks about the arriving at the South Pole.
This summer there's a record number of 120 scientists working here. One of them must know where the pole is.
Keep going.
Well, now I know where it is, but not which one it is. Surely this can't be it, all gaudy like a fairground attraction. Thankfully not. This is what they call the ceremonial pole. Politicians who get this far like to be photographed here.
It's minus 30 degrees centigrade here, with wind chill that's about minus 50. We're also at an elevation of 9,000 feet, so there's altitude sickness to combat. But I think it's just that after 5.5 months on the road, the body is finally saying, pack it in.
When I was a boy in Sheffield, I dreamed of coming here, like my heroes Scott and Amundsen. Now I am here, I want to celebrate. But it's not that easy. The US government doesn't encourage hospitality. While the scientists snuggle under warm blankets, we spend a bitter night, 4 to a tent.
This thing only makes sense when we look at the flat Earth map. That's why they get to South America and they have to go to Australia. From here, nobody can fly over or cross the so-called Antarctica on the bottom of the ball, because that's not how it looks like in real life. And definitely doesn't make sense at all if you look again on the globe. All these continents should be easily, there should be an easy access to the South Pole right here. Could fly over and, you know, land there from Australia, from South America, from South Africa. But there's no way. The South Pole doesn't exist like that. There's only one way to get there, through South America, and all you get is the ceremonial South Pole right here. When we look at the flat Earth map, you can understand what's going on. There's no South Pole. All they have is the ceremonial South Pole, and this flight route explains better on the flat Earth map. It makes no sense whatsoever on the spinning ball Earth. That's all for today, guys. Just exposing the globe lies one more time, letting the world know that the Earth is flat and stationary, just like the Bible says. Thanks again. See you the next time. Bye-bye.